So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Uh, this is Victor, also known as Mighty Pegasus. And tonight I have a special guest, a friend of mine, and his name is Stan. He's a 3D artist, and I wanted to interview him because I I really like his style of painting digitally, and I wanted him to tell us more about his experience, how he got to become a 3D artist, and so this is his interview today, talk and uh, draw and talk, interview. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And so Stan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So yeah, Stan, introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Stan Moua. I'm from Michigan, and I'm a 3D artist. I work for this big company that does 3D for cars all day. Uh, so we do 3D cars. We make it look pretty, and we send it off to the client. They put it up to the website. You buy a car. You see our pictures everywhere.
Right. So your job is to make the car look good, so they can sell it. Huh?
Exactly.
Very nice. So Stan, so tell us how they all started. Like how did you get started and all that? Like from the very beginning. Like what age did you start drawing? When did you start getting interested in going into 3D art? And so on.
All right. So the beginning. Can you hear me good?
Yes, I hear you.
The beginning started when, of course, I was young. I was in France. We all like anime.
Right.
I was into Dragon Ball Z. And, I used to trace the posters a lot. I had all the posters, you used to trace them, and then you sell your pictures to all your friends.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, who knew that tracing pictures would make you better? And I got better and I got better, and then it became a thing where I was like, hey, I enjoy doing it.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to ask you, Stan, what are you gonna draw for us while we're alive?
Okay, I'm gonna draw a chick,
All right.
a
All
beautiful
right.
girl on the dock with
Okay.
water and everything. Hopefully it turns out good because we're live.
Yeah, this is the moment right here.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, keep going with your story. So and then
What was I saying?
so you were drawing.
Yeah. So
You
I
started doing tracing.
yeah, so I
Keep right.
exactly. So I traced a lot when I was young, and then it started with Dragon Ball Z. So
Hmm.
so after that, I kept doing it. I did it through high school. It wasn't a big deal to me though. At high school, I didn't really care for it.
Hmm.
So then it got serious when I went to France. And I went back to France. Met a whole bunch of artists. They were really good and they were like professionals. And they introduced me to 3D and they were like, "Yo, man, this is the new thing."
Okay, really quick before you
Yeah,
keep going. So you move from France to the U.S. at what age?
from France to the U.S. So I was 9. I was
You were
young.
9,
Yeah.
and then you went back to France. How old were you when you went back to France?
I was 18.
18. Okay, and then
Yes,
and
yes, I was
then
very old.
okay. All right, now go ahead and keep going. So you met artists over there.
Yeah, I
You
met
met
some
some artists.
French artists over there, and they introduced me to the art world,
Hmm.
professional stuff, where it's like, this is what we do, 3D, and they had some amazing work, and I was like, holy cow, dude, you have to teach me, what the heck is this? And they were like, 3D Studio Max. I'm like, oh, that's an easy name.
Oh,
And so that it started from there. I mean, I really like the drawing and stuff, but their level was like, holy cow, dude. My level was like nothing. Yeah.
right.
Like, if you ever go to my DeviantArt, the first couple images,
Hmm.
that was the level I was back in France,
Hmm.
and I was like, yo, that was nothing compared to those guys, and they were professionals.
Right.
And so when I came back to the U.S., I was like, dude, I gotta learn this 3D stuff. I'm gonna pursue it.
Hmm.
And so I went to go look for a school that taught it, I almost went to those big schools. It's called like arts. What the heck is that called? Art. What the heck is that called? Arts.
Art center?
No, Art Institute.
Uh,
Art
I was
Institute.
gonna
Yeah.
say. Okay. Art
And
Institute. Oh, the
yeah,
Art Institute. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I almost went to those things. You know, I hear they're okay. But no one wanted to co-sign it, so I was like, fine.
Mhm.
I'll just relax.
I'm guessing that's your wife running
Yeah,
us.
I didn't tell her about this.
Oh, well, welcome to the stream. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. She can be in the interview too.
Okay,
I'm not doing anything.
she's laughing at me. I had to mute the mic for a second.
It's all good.
What was I saying?
So you are going to the Art Institute,
Oh no, I wanted to go to Art Institute and stuff, those big
right?
colleges, but no one wanted to co-sign it. So
Mhm.
I was like, that's fine. I'll just go to the community college. So I went to
Okay.
the community college, and you know what? I was lucky because they were doing 3D, and I was like, wait, what the hell? All right,
Oh, okay.
that's cool. So what I did is I was like, let me give it a shot, because this is community college. How how,
Mhm.
how good can it get? Whatever, dude.
Mhm.
I went, dude. I learned so much stuff, and that's how it started my career.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, man, you got to be the best of the best.
Right. So
It,
yeah. So tell us about like about that. Like being the best of the best at school. What kind of challenge do you have to go through?
of course, the thing is, you got to be good at art. The
Right.
basic of all basic. You got to be good at figures. You got to be good at understanding colors and
Mhm.
understanding motion, understanding all that stuff.
Mhm.
So, so that I mean, of course, I had to learn that too. I didn't know it at all. And then
Right.
when I went through it, they taught me all these things. Taking what's it called? Those classes, storyboarding class. So they'll teach you
Oh
how to
yes. Mhm.
animation,
Right.
and then yeah. So you learn all your basic. At the end, like all that stuff gets put together.
Mhm.
Because of course, 3D animation. No, the field I went to is called 3D animation. It was all dealing with 3D animation and movement, all that stuff.
Mhm.
So, but then really, it's like, well, I kind of wanted to be an artist, or like a
Mhm.
2D artist, because I was
Right.
passionate about it. But I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And I went and I did my thing.
Nice. And what kind of how was it like did everyone in your class pass, or
Oh
how
no.
difficult was it, like how did they grade you, how did you basically how good were the other student, how stressful was it,
Yeah.
anything that like you can some insight that you can give us about going to school as a as a 3D animator that maybe your viewers might want to know.
Yeah. So of course, it was a community college. For the people that's out of the country, community college is just the small colleges,
Hmm.
by the government.
Right.
And because it's community college, it's cheap, so you don't get all the best artists that goes there. So you get a whole bunch of kids that just
Oh,
like,
I
hey,
see.
I want to play games. I want to make
Mhm.
games. I
Right.
want to draw comic book. I love comic book. I love DC. Da da da. So they all go
Mhm.
there and they all think that, hey, my mom tells me I'm good. So you see a whole bunch of them out there like that. I mean,
Right.
of course, I was like that too. But then yeah, so you get a whole bunch of those guys, and what happens is you if you're good, shoot, you'll kill all those kids.
Right.
But if you're decent, you better stock up on your skills and beat all those
Mhm.
kids too. Cause but the bad thing about it is that because there's so many kids I'm not gonna say they suck, but
Mhm.
because there's so many kids that's low level over there,
Mhm.
um, it's easy to boost up your ego
I see.
if
I
you're
see.
if you're okay, if you're decent. But
Okay.
the bad thing about that, of course, is the fact that when you go in the real world, oh,
Mhm.
it's rough. Like yo,
Right.
this another school over there that's like 10 times better than you. You have
Hmm.
nothing compared to them.
Wow.
And so that was my realization when I came out of college. It's like, yo, that school over there is killing me,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to like get better. So
Hmm.
yeah, so
So you
go ahead.
no, so I was gonna say, so you got better on your own while still going to that community college.
Yeah, so the thing about school too, I don't know if you, well, a lot of people might know that went to school is the fact is that they
Mm-hmm.
only teach you the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I do today is all me. I'm okay. I'm giving myself too much credit, but like, yeah, it's kind of all me. Like, I had to
Right,
do the
right.
extra step to
You have to
learn.
really dig into learn into extra stuff.
Yeah, it's like the teachers, the classes, they'll teach you the fundamentals, the basics,
Hmm.
and skills and stuff. It's all you. It's like you take all those stuff to teach you,
Hmm.
and then what can you do with it?
Right,
It's kind of like I'll teach you how to cook, and
right,
you make the recipe that tastes good. I don't know.
right.
I don't know,
No, I
man.
see what you mean. So basically, in the end, is it's still all up to you. Basically, like they're just teaching you how to use the software or basic stuff. But in the end, it's what you make of it. Basically, that's what you're saying, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean, and that makes sense because you did mention that a lot of the student that went to the school you went to, uh, they all went in with the same dream, right? Big dreams. They wanted to do video game, art concept and stuff like that. They wanted to be in comics, uh, and you mentioned also that you had to work. It was easier for you to ranked up as far as one of the better artists because a lot of them didn't took it as like a small they looked at school like a as a small I guess not serious enough. That's what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
right?
It's not. It
So they didn't they
wasn't. It
didn't they
wasn't
didn't
strict.
level up the way they should have before they get into the real world, right?
Exactly.
So wow, so that's very interesting because I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers are they they don't know about that. They just they probably might make the same mistake as all the students that you mentioned. Because even for me, when I think about it, like it's hard nowadays to just find about the field that you want to go into. Like exactly what they teach you. And what you're gonna end up doing. Later on, because a lot of people they end up picking a field that that's just not what they thought was going to be. When they're
Mm-hmm.
done with it, when they graduate. So wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah. It's pretty sad sometimes too because you'll see some students they're really passionate but they just don't get it. And I'm
Mm.
not saying that I was the best, but it's sad that they go through all that, they graduate, parents is all proud, but
Mm.
they can't find a job, and
Right.
it's sad. Like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, man, you wasted all this time. Your mom and dad had so much hopes in you,
Right.
and the industry is like, no, you're not good enough.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
but then that's the real world. It's
The
like the real
wow.
world's like that. They're gonna punch you like that one Rocky
Mhm.
motivation show, right? It's like they're gonna punch you, but it's uh, how's the quote again? Uh, is how
Right.
you get back up or whatever.
You're right. 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 And that you're talking about that
That
Rocky Balboa line.
yeah, that quote you
Yeah.
ever seen in that movie?
Yes.
Cause
Yes.
uh,
Very nice.
cause yeah, like I remember like the first year I graduated,
Yeah.
like I literally thought I had it. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna find a job. I'm literally gonna
Mhm.
find a job, dude. I'm like the best in class. My ego was up, blah blah.
Wow.
My wife was like, Stan, you're good. Yeah, uh huh.
Right.
I'm like, oh, cool, cool. And then, my the thing too is like my family. Don't trust your family members' opinion, because
Yeah.
my mom be like, yeah, oh yeah, my son is the greatest. He's
Right.
blah blah blah. And then you go, and then the real world is like, no,
Right.
you're not good enough.
It's not the
Or
same.
yeah, you get denied. You would get rejected. You get, oh my
Wow.
gosh, dude, it kicks your freaking
Your ego, right? Your pride, right?
everything starts
Oh
going down.
man.
Dude, I was depressed.
Damn.
No, not depressed, but just very stressed. Just the fact, like, I didn't get it. I'm like, what the hell is it?
Right.
What is it that I don't have?
Hmm.
But yeah, so
And
that.
would you say that it was mainly because of because you talk about your family member giving you compliment. You think you were too you got overconfident before because of all this compliment? Is that why you went in with too much confidence, or
Yeah.
was it because of your skill, your art skills that you thought was really out there?
Oh yeah. So yeah, both were actually correct.
Okay.
So first thing was I was too confident.
Mhm,
I did not know what the hell I was competing against, or
mhm,
the real world, what the heck the quality they were about. I did not
mhm.
know understand that. And the secondly is what was the second one?
Oh, the compliments from your family, the support. Like
Yeah,
they really basically they uh they compliment you so much that you really believe in yourself even more, and then you know.
yeah,
But
and
it's family. It's family. They will
yeah,
always
exactly.
support you.
Yeah, everyone wants to support you. Everyone wants you to do good, but no, this is not the doctor. This is not a lawyer. This is not engineer. This is all based on skills. You can graduate with a master's, and if you suck,
Mhm.
you can get a master's. You're still gonna suck,
Wow.
and it hurts, because that's reality. And
Yeah. So how did you manage to get your job then with all these difficulties?
so I did two things. I was at the good thing about doing what I did is the fact that I brought my ego out. It took it out of my system
Okay.
because no, it's not healthy having an ego.
Right.
And sometimes I still have it, but that's not the point.
Right.
uh,
Right.
what the heck was I? Oh, it's so what I did is I did two things. I had my whole demo reel because animation class you have a demo reel, right? A demo reel which is it shows off all your stuff.
Mhm.
I had to re-scratch everything and just like, you know what, this is not good enough. I have to start from
Mhm.
scratch. I have to start get some new ones, and I do have to realize that what's good and what's bad. I can't just settle with whatever I have, because the thing was like, oh, this project is done. Okay, well I did it in class, so I'm just gonna use it in my reel.
Okay.
And then I have to realize after a while, I was like, this is not good enough. I can't use this.
Mhm.
So I had to re-scratch everything and start from scratch. And because I graduated college already, I had no
Mhm.
teachers to tell me like, hey, yeah, do this, do that, blah blah.
Mhm.
So what happened was instead of looking at tutorials, I
Mhm.
had to look at reference.
Okay.
Reference is the best thing that can happen to you because reference is what the professionals are doing, and they publish the work online.
I see.
And so, if you're gonna go to the professional world, you better mimic those images you see online.
Right.
And because I'm in the car industry, Detroit, I had to mimic. The stuff I was doing is cars.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you can see my screen here,
Yes, I see. Yep.
but these are, you know, they call the horizon line. Always have like after a while like, oh, there's a horizon line here all the time.
Mhm.
Every car horizon line, horizon line. There's a horizon line everywhere.
I see. Yeah. Makes it
Horizon,
shiny. It gives
yeah,
it that
yeah.
right.
That one's ugly. But yeah, so after a while I'm like, oh, okay, add a horizon line. For some reason my school never taught me that a horizon
Interesting.
line, and so I'm like, okay, so now I gotta go and look at reference, see
Mhm.
what they have. Like, okay, this is a picture they published online. They must have went through art director and
Mhm.
multiple artists to before they publish it. So this has to be coming from an artist. So for me to get to the industry, I have to mimic this.
I see. I see.
And so actually, I do have my first one. I try to mimic.
Oh, let's take a look at it.
Yeah, it's funny. What?
And you use that first one for your job. Was it on your a
Um,
demo?
it was. I think it's still in there because I never updated my demo after I got a job. I
I
got
see.
what the heck is it at? Okay, well, hold on. Let me just show you my demo reel then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Vimeo. Oh no, you know what? Let's just straight to my website. Stan Moua. It's so old. Like I don't know why it's still even up there. So this is my website, stanmoua.com.
Very nice.
This is okay. So it's right here.
Wow, check that out.
The hell? Oh,
Oh, very nice. Nice.
see this Mustang right here?
Yes.
This is the first one I did.
Wow.
And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
dude, I need to mimic these. So I'm like, this is the
Wow.
first one I did, and bam, the whole thing
Wow.
started from this.
Right on point, man.
Yeah. So
Wow.
because whatever they teach you at school was the software, how to use it. They didn't
Mhm.
teach you the art skills. You know, they didn't teach you the what looks good, what does not look good.
Right.
And so
That's
yeah, so that's what they need from you in the art studio. They don't care how much all the softwares, you know, like right here, all the softwares. No one
Mhm.
cares.
Mhm.
It's like saying, hey, do you know how to use a pencil and a pen? Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Do you know what to do with it? I know how it works.
Hmm.
But can you draw me something with the pen and pencil?
Mhm.
No. Then you're useless. You know what I mean? So the same
Wow.
concept.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Just thinking about like you go to school to learn something, but when you get to the real world, like you said, it's like it's a different game change, right? It's like a whole different world, like the way they look at your art, how they're gonna hire you, and just like you mentioned the software too. So they don't care about any software that you use. Basically, like you could be just using Photoshop or something not even as famous as Photoshop, right?
Hmm.
And as long as you can as long as you can get the job done, they'll hire you because of your skill level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't care what software you use. As long as you know what to look for. Like, yo,
Mm,
when I'm lighting this car, I'm
mm,
looking for this nice, beautiful line, and see this little warm, and they
mm.
call it warm and cool. You know, it's slightly there. It gives that image beauty, and like, oh, this
Wow.
guy knows, he understands lighting. You know, so
Wow.
if you look in the beginning of see this one, this is
Mm.
I didn't really use a reference here. I just did some stupid. Well, for me, it's stupid. Like the light, everything is all over the place. I don't like
I
it.
see.
This is bad light. This is what's called bad lighting. It's
Mm.
it's ugly.
I see. I see what you mean. I can tell. Yes.
Yeah. And then
I see.
Return it is what it does, what it is, what it isn't.
wow. Okay, there you
But
go.
I bet instead of getting on the
Okay,
internet.
so and this one right here is actually the. So okay, so what happened was I went in for internship.
Uh-huh.
I used this car here as a demo,
Uh-huh.
and I think this one, those three. And then well I was so desperate. I went to this small mom and pop shop.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, give me an internship. I don't care. I'll work for free. I don't care, you know. I'll work
Right.
for free 2 days a week, you know. If that's cool with
Mhm.
you, they were like, hey, yeah, why not? Come over. I'm like, all right, that was easy. um,
Wow.
so they were like, yeah, just come here, sit here, whatever, no big deal. If we have real work, you can do some real work, we'll pay you. I'm like, okay.
Good.
And so I learned, well, not just I learned, but they had like very powerful computers. They had like all the assets, like this whole truck here. I would never have that unless the company would give it to me. I
Uh-huh.
mean, you could download it, but you have to pay for the good stuff.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so they had all the assets, all the lighting, beautiful backplate, you know, the backgrounds. So I'm like, hey man, they have everything. Let me just give it a shot. So I did this one at the internship, and that landed me a real job. Because this
Very
one, they
nice.
saw this and they were like, oh, he gets it. He understands lighting. Like
Nice.
again with the horizon line, you know, it's there, and you know,
Very nice.
and you know, this is my. Hold on, let's just watch the time.
But I bet
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
getting on the
play it.
internet and checking a new hit, get up. Strut walking, a little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere
This is
between
Bluetooth when Bluetooth was popular. Fishing lore because I like fishing. This is an animation I did at the internship.
Hmm.
I modeled the hawk. And I think this is something I did in college.
Wow.
This is so bad though. It's like the average. This is the logo I designed just to make myself profitable.
Hmm.
To try to look for a job.
Very nice. Wow.
Yeah, so as you can see, I had to redo my whole entire um, demo reel.
Right. But right now you don't need to. You got your job. You're good. It's not like
Yeah,
right. This is very interesting. All this work to
just
get
to
a job.
land.
This
Yeah,
is interesting. Wow.
uh, I found my old one.
Hmm.
Let's check it out.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look.
Let's check it out. Hold up. It's so funny. Hold up.
This is exclusive, guys.
Yeah, this
You
is
guys
here
see it
only.
first.
I don't know where it went. Oh, it's right here. So it's okay. You can make fun of me. Like,
I can't even make fun of you. I can't even do any of the things you do.
yeah. So you can see, like, I don't know if you can see the colors are fading right
Right.
there. It's
Mhm.
no, that's a no good. Like, don't ever do that.
Okay.
Like,
Take notes, guys. Take notes, guys.
Remember I told you gradient? Like, don't use gradient. Well, I used to use
Mhm.
gradient, and now I stopped.
Okay. So don't use gradient.
Yeah. It's like, ew. But this is a cool effect, but then they teach you that online.
Mhm.
So I had the same car. I used it
Oh yeah,
again.
it is. Mhm.
I tried to do different lighting. Okay, this car I did it way back too.
Mhm.
Uh,
But
so,
it changed. Yeah, it changed.
yeah. So this is a Japanese alley we did back in college.
Oh.
But as you can see, it looks very fake.
Mhm.
This is a project I did in college too, animation class.
Mhm.
Same with this one. Another. Remember the dragon?
Yeah, it's the same dragon. Wow.
Same dragon, but this one here is more detailed.
Yeah, it wasn't completely polished yet.
Yeah, so it's more detailed, colors more correct. This one is just basic, basic yellow.
Right.
Wow, wow. See, as you can see, it does this turn again, and this one,
Right.
it's,
I see.
and
So you did fix that. Yep.
yeah, so it's two different demo reel because the other one was more polished. This one
Mhm.
was, this one here it's more like you can see the college stuff.
I see.
It's like, this is, you know what this is? Do you know what this is?
No.
Remember the movie Janemba from Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, Janemba, yes.
Yeah, I got this
the Fusion movie.
I got this concept from this, and I was like, hey, my teacher
That's really
loved
cool.
it.
I like that.
My teacher was like, oh, that's cool. What is that in the background? I'm like, I don't know, just bubbles and stuff. Oh, you should really focus on it and make it something. I'm like, all right, so I made this. Like,
That's amazing.
green screen, some stupid stuff.
Oh, dude, I love it. That's amazing.
So as you can see, this is my old one, 2012, the year I graduated.
Wow.
And then, I had to amp it up.
Hmm.
More.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference, like how much more detail is on it, how you
Yeah.
polished it.
Right.
It's so much better. Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
And like you see at the truck, I redid it. I thought I did it better, but today
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, it's ugly. Yeah. So the whole idea is the fact that you had to face up, and like all the time I wasted in college.
Mhm.
It's like sometimes the thing is, we don't when we waste not waste, but when we use a lot of time to make something, we want to show it off. But the
Right.
thing is, after a while, you start falling in love with it. And when you fall in love with it, you never want to throw it away. When you never want to throw it away, you just have to
I see.
crap. And so the thing is, I had to learn to let go,
Mhm.
stop falling in love with my crap, and just do what I try to do it like a client was here. It's like, okay, don't do
I
it
see.
what you like, just do it how they want it. So that's when
Mhm.
that's when these started coming in. Like this look. It's like, oh yeah, well online it's like this. Let me just pretend they're my client, and
Mhm.
I just did it, copied it, and then
Very nice.
yeah. So don't fall in love with your stuff. Let it go, and start new stuff. And you have to realize you're not that good. Get better.
Mhm.
Get better. Get better.
Right, you can always improve, and you're right. You're right. I think a lot of artists, they get stuck into their own style, and then they call it their style, because they get stuck in it for so long. But I think a lot of them too, they deny the little mistake that they do, because they like it that way, and
Yeah.
they just leave it at that.
Um,
And that's a great advice right there, yo.
one thing about people and their style. Okay, so this is a little mean, but it's the truth. back in college, we had a lot of those kids because, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know. The thing about their own style is that it's your style is because you don't know how to do anything else but this. That
Mhm.
does not mean it's your style, you know. Your you can claim it. Your style is if you learn how to draw like Jim Lee,
Mhm.
and then you learn how to draw like like well, you picked up 3 4 different style.
Right.
You copied 4 different style. Like, all right, I know how to do this. I know how to do that. And now you like, I'm gonna choose this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna choose these eyes. I'm gonna choose this mouth. I'm gonna choose these type of hair. And then that becomes your style. But then if you never try different styles, but you always stuck to that one, that
Mhm.
just means I don't know how to do anything else but this.
Right. That makes sense. It's like it goes back to what you're saying about taking a reference. Like we basically take bits and like ideas from other artists or from actual real stuff, that you incorporate into your art, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's this one saying that's like, just do what you
Mhm.
do you, and the fans will come. Like, that's true, yes,
Mhm.
but not when you suck. You know,
Mhm.
if you suck, fans might come, but they
Mhm.
might just be your mom and dad, brother, sister,
Mhm.
cousins. You know, and
Mhm.
maybe I mean sometimes it works, yes, you know, but then sometimes you have to realize that you have to amp it up,
Right.
and some people
Right.
don't do that, and I've seen that multiple times. There's this one kid back in college. Yeah, like we had a figure class. We drew this naked person in front of us,
Mhm.
and for some reason, every time he drew it, his face looked anime all the time.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, she doesn't look like that, or he doesn't
Right.
look like that. Why this looks so anime?
Mhm.
He's like, I don't know. Every time I draw, it looks anime. I'm like, you need to get out of that thing, and
Right.
he never did. But
Oh, wow.
I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing, but you gotta learn to
Right.
let it go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I guess it's not a bad thing depending on what you're trying to break into. But for what you were going for, yeah, you had to get better for your case, right? You had to get better, in as a 3D artist, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's more towards realisms, than animated or cartoonish, right? So it's definitely a different level, and yeah, so you had to improve really fast for you
Yeah,
in your case.
and two, my field was they had standard. People had standard.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the standard they were looking for was not what I had.
Mhm.
So I had to amp it up, and of course that there's a big school next to us too. It's called CCS.
Mhm.
I told you about it before.
Right.
They are my biggest competitor, and if you don't amp it up, they will get all the job first because there's constantly people are graduating there constantly. So it's like if you don't amp it
Wow.
up, they will pick up the job first. You will
Mhm.
have a hard time, and good luck because
Right. That competition is tough, man. They're trying to get the best of the best every time, huh?
yeah, exactly.
Get them first. Wow, that's really tough. So would you say that because you started tracing, right, as when you were younger,
Yeah.
and how did you come up with your style to go? Well, I guess because right now your style is realism, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So how did you make that shift? Was it hard for you to go from cartoonist? Did it take you a long time to go from animated cartoonish style to a realism?
Um. Yes and no.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, as in like it was. I mean, it's not easy. It's just that I had to draw more people.
Mhm.
Wait, what was your question again?
So switching from a cartoonish style of art
Yeah.
to realism from what you're doing right now, because it's to me it's like two big different style. Like I always started drawing cartoonish manga style.
Yeah.
And realism to me is still kind of new. I'm trying to get to that point.
hmm
So how was it for you, basically? Like how was
it's
it
like
easy? Did it take a long time?
well, it's not easy. It was kind of hard because
Mm,
I drawing cartoon first, you condition your mind to like only do this and that, and then when you start doing realism, it's like, yo, I have to rethink, I have to recondition my mind. Um, so the thing about it is, yeah, it wasn't easy, but then as soon as you get into it, you start getting it. It's like, oh, I get it. I
see.
understand. It's just the fact that you have to, they call it like discipline your mind.
Interesting.
It's like
Okay.
just do it.
Right.
It's kind of like working out, running and stuff. Just do it. Just keep going. I know it hurts. Just keep doing it.
Right. That's true. You just gotta go through it.
Yeah, it's
Finish
like,
it.
yeah,
Right.
conditioning your body, because your body knows it hurts, but you're gonna bypass it after.
Very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Wow. So, so then, right now, since you work for a company, like how often do you just draw on the side just for yourself? Like when you make your own painting or some digital art, something that you want to do just for yourself, a personal project. How often do you draw?
Over there, or at work? Or you talking about
Oh,
just
just no, like on your
personal
on your
time?
own, like on your personal time, like on your personal project or something like that. How often do you do that?
At first I wasn't.
Hmm.
Ever since I met you, you were like, "Hey, do it." I'm like, "All right." Yeah, the truth is, and I got kind of lazy because I got a job. I was like, "Oh, cool, I got a
Yeah.
job, man." And then the first year you want to be the best, and then you become okay where no one cares. It's not no
Hmm.
one cares, but it's like, oh, no one is correcting my stuff. That must
Hmm.
mean I'm good, right?
Hmm.
And after that, it's like, oh well, if I'm good, then I'll lay low for a while. I don't want to practice. And
Hmm.
then you get lazier and lazier.
Right.
1 week to a month to a year. Like, what the hell?
Hmm. So do you think because of that you kind of stayed at a level that haven't evolved too much,
Yeah,
or
I did.
you did?
Because of course, practice makes perfect.
Hmm.
And so because I lay low, I I didn't practice,
Hmm.
and that was a big waste of time.
Hmm. I see. And also I wanted because you're using Photoshop right now.
Yeah.
What is you use? What other software do you use? Like can you
Uh,
tell us about what you use?
I use, well, for illustration I use Paint Tool Sai.
Oh, Paint to Side. Okay.
Yeah. Just because it has beautiful brush strokes, and I love the way it blends.
Hmm.
I mean, I heard you can do that too in Photoshop, but I don't want to try to figure it out.
Right.
Gotta buy the brushes. You gotta tweak this, tweak that. I don't want to go through all that.
Right. I
Uh,
like Photoshop. Yeah.
yeah, and then Photoshop, of course. I wanted to pick up. It's called Corel Painters,
Oh yes, yes. Me too. Actually. Yeah.
and they have. It's even better, but I downed it once, and it's so complicated, man. I was like,
Really.
Well, no, I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want to take the time to learn it. Basically,
Yeah, it's basically a whole new interface. You got to learn everything, the
yeah,
position,
yeah.
what's what.
I didn't want to. The thing is, I didn't want to do that.
I totally understand, man. Like I think I was telling you before, when I switched from Photoshop to Clip Studio Paint, I felt the same way. Like I miss Photoshop so bad. Like I got so used to it, I enjoyed it, and now it's like I had to force myself to take the time to learn how to use Clip Studio Paint. And even now, like I always tell you, I barely use like not even 5 to 10% of what it actually can do. Like
Mm-hmm.
I still got so much to learn now, because I only do basic stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a lot of things to learn. So switching from a different software, yeah, I can imagine, man. It's a whole new thing every time.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's like what I said earlier. You gotta condition yourself. Like,
right.
I
That's
gotta
true.
force myself to learn this. If I don't, those damn kids will beat me in the other college. They're gonna pick up all the
Right.
jobs. I mean,
So yeah, so let's talk about this for a second because you mentioned disciplining yourself. So what kind of discipline did you have to like force yourself to get into? Like how was it mentally and physically? How exhausting was it? To learn, uh, to get better. At the new things you were learning.
yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah. So the discipline. Well, first of all, is just to start, right? just to get on the computer and just start drawing because
Okay.
the truth is, for me, I really hate the beginning stage of drawing, like
Uh-huh.
the thinking, the concept, the drawing. See that would it look good? I don't know, and that's one thing that makes me not want to start any new project,
Right.
and it's bad. It's actually really bad, but and that's what I mean by conditioning. Like, all right, force yourself, just do it.
Hmm.
Get up and do it. It's kind of like working out. Get up, do it, do your sets.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
plus, yeah. So I just had to start, and I had to get away from the whole anime. 'Cause I used to draw like freaking Fader Free and all that stuff. Every time I would draw, like for some reason the hair would look like Goku or Gohan.
Right.
What the hell?
Spiky.
Yeah. And then oh shoot. Um, what the hell? Oh,
Oh, something is going on.
my shortcut got deleted.
Oh. Oh, you gotta redo everything, huh?
No.
Reload it.
Yeah, something happened. That was F1.
I think Stan doesn't want to finish this, guys. I think
Yeah, forget it, man.
it's like he says, it's the beginning stage. He hates doing
Yeah.
it, so
Come on, guys, give me something. Give me something else.
It's all good. Take your time, fix it.
No, the other day, I had to delete my preference.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, and then now my shortcut was gone. I'm like, damn it. Yeah, freaking Pablo taught me how to do it, and I completely forgot. Keyboard shortcut. I'm trying to put it on F1. It was image. Okay, just bear with me real quick.
No worries, no worries. You take your time. It's good. It's a good learning, for people who want to set up their, shortcuts.
Yeah, there you go.
So
There you go.
there we go.
See, this looks incorrect.
Oh right, yeah, the flipping image. But we'll talk about this after. Go ahead and finish talking about the discipline. So what did you have to remind yourself every time? Like you said, like you will do her hair and it looks like Goku's hair. So how would you remind yourself to not do that? What would you do? Would you like re-erase everything? Would you just put like a picture in front of you to remind you not to do that or something like that?
Yeah. I would start using reference because if I can't, if everything I'm drawing looks like freaking, this,
Right.
um, if it starts looking like, oh, what the hell? Oh,
Something wrong again.
if it starts looking like this every time, I'm like,
Right.
well, there's nothing else I know but that. It's like, well, that means you don't have a library of hair, and that means you never drew other hair than that.
Very true. Yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh, well, how about shorter? I'm like, that's still Dragon Ball Z. Like, oh, my bad. How about the hat? That's Terry Bogard. I'm like, oh, my bad. It's like,
Right.
how about this?
Yeah.
That's Joe Higashi. Like, no,
Yeah. Yeah. Still all look the same. Well, right.
Yeah, because I didn't try to draw any other style, and that's when it's like, oh, that's my style. Like, no, it's just the fact that I never tried any other style.
Right. It's all you know.
Yeah.
Like
So
mix it.
yeah. So the discipline is that I had to go find a reference and just stick to that reference.
Hmm. To do realism, find a reference and stick to that.
Well, at
Okay.
first, at first it started as in just building my library of drawing other things than just Dragon Ball Z,
Right. Right.
and then it became more and more like, hey, realism is actually cool.
Hmm.
It's actually pretty nice. And then, of course, the website ArtStation,
Right.
ArtStation,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Everyone draws realism, and it's more and more motivating.
It's true.
And it's so badass that I'm like, yeah, this is the way to go, man.
That's the way to go. Yeah. But it's even harder. Competition is even harder on outstation.
Exactly. You thought college and finding a job was hard? Oh man.
Yeah,
See,
because that's like artists like all over the world. Like they're just putting the stuff out there,
yeah,
and it's just so many good people, man. Like amazing guys.
exactly. So that's why I'm like, and because I understood that about college and finding a
Hmm.
job, like, okay, I'm going after the world now. It's like,
That's great. Yeah.
it's like, okay, I've learned how to condition my mind. So if I can do it again for the worldly, uh, concept stuff, let's
Yeah.
go.
That's amazing. Yeah, and that's the way to go. From your past experience. That's great.
Hmm.
Yeah, and some people won't even think of it like that. From the past experience.
Yeah,
Because it's like you mentioned earlier today. I think they get comfortable into it. So I think that's the whole problem. The fact that they get comfortable. So that's great that you saw it that way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so I mentioned earlier about the flipping the picture to see the mistake. You taught me that. Can you tell us and the viewers about it? Like, how does that work and what does that show you?
Okay, so basically, um, the when you draw something, you don't notice anything bad because you're viewing it from your angle. And as
Uh-huh.
soon as I flip it, like, oh, you
Right.
know what? Do I still have that?
I think because you move the head, we won't see the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I'm like, oh, this looks fine. As soon as I flipped it, I was like, that doesn't look right.
Right. And that's crazy how that like that whole thing like it blew my mind when you showed me that. So yeah. So for viewers, if you guys are watching, like it's a great like how would you call it
I don't know, image flip.
like like but it's a great
Verify your anatomy.
okay, yeah, there we go. That's I guess I didn't know how to put that in word,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes. And the what happened is this Stan flipped one of my um, art, and then I saw like right away like, whoa, what is this? Like it doesn't look the same at all. And I was like, and so I learned from that. From it teaches you on the angle and the anatomy on how you see. Like everyone's has got their own perspective, but once you flip that image over, it should be looking the same, right? In both
That
perspective, right?
right. Yeah, it should look the same. Like right here, right now.
Right.
Like if I actually this one doesn't look right, maybe I'll maybe take it out over there more.
Hmm. Right. And this is great because it makes you see things that are off. So when you go back to the actual perspective you had in mind, you can actually fix it. And this is
Yeah.
that right there that blew my mind. Like I've never learned that.
The thing too is don't be scared of painting while being on the other side, because then when you flip it,
Mhm.
like it should look right.
Wow. Yeah, that is great. That's a great. That's something great for, to use.
I mean, yeah,
It's amazing. Yeah.
it's a common thing. Like every artist should know. I didn't
Mhm.
know about it myself until like some artists showed me, and
Mhm.
I'm like, crap, it's too late. Let me show you. Well, I showed you guys before, but I showed you before, but my how I flipped one of my images that I did before, and
Right.
I'm like, oh crap, it looks ugly.
Right.
Let me
So.
just copy. Let me just put it right here. Paste that.
Oh, right. That's right. And then once you flip it, so this angle is good. And then once you flip it, it looks odd.
This angle is good. That flip it. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with her chin? What's up with her neck? Her neck is so far out there. It looks like a man now.
Right.
The shoulder might be too small. Crap, I'm seeing a lot of bad things.
Right.
And then you go in there and you be like, all right, let me just do the liquefy. Her chin. Smooth that in there. There you go. It looks
Mhm.
better. Maybe the neck. I don't know.
Yep. Yep. It's starting to fix it a bit.
Shoulder. Oh no, the boobs. Oh man, it's one or the other.
Right. But that makes sense. So like for our viewers, I hope you guys can see like how much difference you can actually see once you flip a picture, like that, and that's amazing. That's
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, okay, never mind.
Oh, you lost.
No, I think it.
Okay.
But yeah. So flip the image before you go too far,
Mhm.
because if you don't, you end up like what I did here. I'm like, oh crap! It's
That's his old drawing, guys. By the way.
yeah, like 2 months ago. No. Let's see how far back there. 2016. So that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
May 2016. Yeah. And the thing about this is, like I told you, I fell in love with this picture,
Mhm.
and I put way too much time because this is the time I wanted to pick up the painting stroke style,
Mhm.
and I fell in love with this one, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I never flipped it. I'm like, oh, it was too late.
Mhm.
And
I see.
I already published it. Everyone saw it already. People think
Right.
I suck.
Right.
See,
Right.
now it looks correct.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I changed it a little lower, but whatever. But yeah, so
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
flip your images.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's great.
I'm not liking that leg actually, but no big deal.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk about also, like earlier you mentioned about the starting process, because I know we talked about it on to each other before, but so right now our viewers, they're probably wondering why you haven't started painting yet. You're still in the process of laying down where you want to put everything, right? And I
Yeah.
know we discussed that together, and tell us the importance of doing that, like because what we talked about before is it's more important to spend more time making sure everything is set up the way you want it to be, and make sure it looks good before you can actually paint it. Tell us about that.
All right. So yeah. So doing this, I haven't colored yet. Of course, you want to get your shape done. Make sure your anatomy is correct. And I'm drawing really rough right now, so you can see a lot of edges and nasty stuff. Um, so it's good to it's just basically get your foundation good, you know, and then
Hmm.
and then you can go in and drop them, like boom, 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 like okay, they're gonna stack, boom, boom.
Right.
Now we're gonna have like a beautiful pyramid.
I see.
But
Very nice.
if I didn't, I would be like, oh crap, it's. And then you'd be like, oh, those things are super heavy, man. It's like I'm not doing it again. Like, dude, I told
I
you to
see.
set it up. It's like, oh man,
That makes sense.
yeah. You'd be like, uh oh,
And yeah.
now no one's gonna come and visit us in
Right.
Egypt.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. And you can actually see it, like right now a lot of artists, they don't do that. They, some of them, they go straight to the painting.
Yeah.
And some of them actually do really good that way. But it's also very important to very lay out the different layer
Hmm.
first. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
And of course, because I'm doing a top view, you
Mhm.
know your anatomy. Because if you don't know
Yeah.
your anatomy, you get stuck with just always the same.
Flat figure,
Yeah, and
straight.
then I
Yeah.
used to do this a lot, and then or you just do this.
Hmm.
It's always like the shoulder like this.
Right.
It's one or the other.
Right.
It's never like. And of course,
Something. Right.
if everyone learns it, right? You do the square thing
Hmm.
and the circle, pivot. I don't know. I just randomly put stuff.
Hmm.
His leg is gonna go like this,
Right.
Vegeta.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So you know your anatomy.
Hmm.
Well, know your anatomy if you're gonna draw characters, of course. If you're
Hmm.
gonna draw cars all
Absolutely.
day, because
That's right.
it's funny. Like I'm not bashing anyone at work, but like I was surprised at work when I was drawing something on my whiteboard,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Oh, Stan, you can draw." I'm like, "The hell are you talking about? You can draw characters?" I'm like, "Should you?" I was like, "You should too." What do you
Yeah.
mean I
Yeah.
can draw characters?
Right.
And then from there I found out like 3D artists, a lot of 3D artists don't know drawing
Human
people. Yeah,
anatomy.
exactly. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
Because
That's
it's a totally different field, you know.
no, you're right. That's shocking too. Like I'm shocked. Like I would assume, right? Like you know how to draw like cars, you should be able to have a better perspective at least of human anatomy and angle. You know.
Or touched upon it in college or
Right.
something, you know.
Right. Right.
Nope. I was like,
Wow.
what? So yeah, so I was surprised when people were like, "Oh man, it's amazing!" I'm like, shut up. And then look to find out, oh, you can't draw, huh? Oh, what the
Right.
hell? Am I alone here? Yeah.
That's insane. Wow. That's some great insight right there.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't mean to be cocky. I just mean to just not everyone in the 3D
Right.
world, not everyone knows how to do it.
Right. And that's one thing, you know, like it goes back to what we're saying. Like I think they specialize in that too much that they excluded everything else. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So to be a complete artist or a better artist, I should say, you know, you just gotta like keep drawing everything basically, not just one thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
of course, 3D you don't really require to learn
Mm,
anatomy either.
mm,
It's just my preference. Well, I started drawing Ball Z, so.
right. And so Stan, let's keep moving on the question.
Oh yeah,
I
go
got
for
a
it.
few more, you know, and it's almost been an hour. This is insane. Wow, this is great. This is
What?
a lot of great information, and no, I like it. I love it. You know, hopefully it doesn't you know it doesn't affect your you know I don't know if you have anything going on you know
No,
right now.
I'm gonna play Call of
Okay.
Duty after this.
That's great. So you guys can find Stan on Call of Duty after this.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's keep moving on. You know, I got a few more questions. You know, and then you know we'll leave it at that. You know, I want to keep the interview. You know, just as a certain you know time. And so I was wondering, you know, like have you done any convention before? Are you planning on doing anything like that? You know, on the side. You know.
I want to. I want to start.
Hmm.
Um, Based on your experience, it sounded very awesome. You know, I was like, man,
Yeah.
this is so freaking great.
Right.
So I do want to start. And actually, this year I was literally looking at a whole bunch of convention.
Nice.
I have a whole bunch of images I could probably sell right now.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Absolutely.
and yeah, so I do want to start. I haven't. I've been talking about it ever since I was in college because
Mhm.
I went to one and I was like, oh, this is the most amazing thing ever.
Mhm. Hey Stan. So that it doesn't take too long because the painting looks huge. Show us just like the face, how you will work. Just work on the face for now, so that people can actually see your
My
your skills.
progress.
You know, like yeah, yeah. You know
Yeah,
what we're going. Sorry, I didn't mean to
no, that's fine.
interrupt you like that. Yeah, I just
Um,
want people to really see, you know, how you use the software, how you shade, you know, how you paint. So yeah. So
yeah, so
anyway, yeah.
one thing I do is I just have my lines. I know people tend to. I used to really rely on my lines, but my lines are just there to give shape.
Hmm.
So I don't. I'm gonna take them off after.
Right.
And damn, these eyes. Oh, shoot, see that? I didn't. I broke my damn my rule. The rule of getting a good foundation. Yeah,
Then again, that's how you find the mistake, you know, because you were
exactly.
still working. I kind of rushed you, you know. You were still working on all that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so, while you're doing this, is there any advice you want to give to our viewers or young artists that want to break into the animation, you know, industry or 3D artists, you know? What do you have to say for them, you know, like anything
Um,
that can help them?
same thing as what I was saying before. Is if you have an ego, you better break that off. You know, and I get it.
Right.
I get it. It comes, and it's something you can't even control. It just does. You know, like especially when you're the best in your family.
Mhm.
Let that go, 'cause that's gonna really break. Especially your learning curve.
Mhm.
It's gets on the way
Mhm.
because you think you're too good. Of course, you stop learning. And then
Right.
secondly, too, is never stop drawing. I mean, yeah, never stop trying.
Okay.
'Cause
Never stop trying.
yeah, I've seen kids stop trying right after college, and
Mhm.
they never advanced up, and they fall
That's
behind.
too bad. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I can't help you. Because
Yeah.
after college, after I found a job, people were reaching out to me from
Mhm.
college again. They were like, "Hey, man, hook me up." I'm like, "All right, let's see your demo reel." And be like, "What the hell is this?" You know, I'm like,
Hey,
I can't help you."
yeah.
Yeah, so always keep trying, always level up, man,
Mhm.
because it's number one. Like, I mean,
Right.
no, it's not number one, but as an artist, you can always move up.
Right. Right. So you
Like,
gotta stay updated to
hmm
everything. Yeah.
like I remember Stanley Law.
Mhm.
His style changed, like from 4 years ago or 5 years
Mhm.
ago to now. His style slowly changed, but it gotten better. You know, it's like it gets better and better.
Right.
It's like, dude, even professional Stanley Law, like, yo,
You're right. So progress throughout the years.
exactly.
That's great. Never give up. All right. That's great. And let's talk about the critics really quick, because you said a lot of people, will give up. Do you think it's about people, like giving harsh critics, or like they were evaluated too hard from the employers,
Oh yeah. I would, yeah. You mean like when they stop or when they?
Yeah, yeah. Like, is that the reason why they stop, or in like overall?
Yeah. Well, one is they don't know how to advance up, and
Mhm.
because they don't have any relative that knows how to advance up.
Right.
Secondly, is of course they're lazy, but that's not what we're talking about. Third is like,
Mhm.
yeah, the it's too harsh, and sometimes I don't know how to. I don't know I need it to be better. You know,
Right.
it's
Okay.
like
I see.
I feel like I'm at a good spot where I should get a job. I deserve a job.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah.
That's what blocks them. So, what would you like? What kind of advice would you give them for that? Like when for new artists that are, like if somebody review the art or give them some critiques, what would you give them like for advice? Like to not take it so harshly, but use it as like getting better.
Take it, man. I mean, I hated it too,
Hmm.
but take it. Like, literally, like, you can curse them out on your own time, but then
Right.
and then you get back to reality and be like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's right.
Right.
And then of course you're the one who's looking for a job, so
Right.
you better take every advice you can.
You're right. You're right. I mean, they're giving you the job if you're good enough, right? So you're right. I mean,
Exactly. So if you
if you,
can't get
you're right.
it, you better realize what the hell it is.
Right. That's a great advice. That's a great advice. And we talked a lot about that now. Let's talk about like your personal goal for you. Like, what's your short term goals and what's your long term goal? Like, what do you have right now in mind?
So my short term goal, of course, is just to get better and
Hmm.
at what I like the 2D side, like understanding lighting,
Hmm.
understanding shapes, understanding good color concept,
Hmm.
everything, and then from there, uh, long term is becoming a successful artist. I do want to work for, like, my dream is to work for as a concept artist.
Hmm.
And people will be like, Stan, you're not concept artist quality. Like,
Right.
I get it,
Right.
but that's not now. And let me sharpen my skills and everything first. Um,
That's awesome.
so that's my
Your long term goal in the future.
yeah.
Right. And this is great. I just want to, I don't know if you can see, but I just want to show what you mean by that, because it's very interesting to me, because you mentioned you want to have a better understanding of shapes and colors and all that. And what I did is I just zoomed down on the picture that you did of Tracer, and like to me, it's already like it's great. It's already out there for me. And the fact that you're saying that you want to even get better than that, that right there really shows like how much as an artist you need, how you need to like see yourself as always improving. So for our viewers, like I think that's really important. And to me is it's really inspiring. Like I take your concept and of doing that and inspire me. Like I want to do the same thing. And for those of you who don't know, like Stan is actually the reason why I even changed my the way I color, my art, and it's great. And that's the way. That's everything we just talked about. That's I accepted his critic and actually wanted him to tell me honestly, what was wrong, from different artists, and I took that and I incorporated it in my most recent art, and it's looking better. Like I gotta say myself, I like them. I like the way they look better than the first one I did. So all that right here, that's what Stan means, and to me that's amazing. That's something that I love in artists, because some artists you'll talk to them and right away that they're not trying to progress, they just want to stay right there,
Yeah.
So this is great, but as an artist, I think like Stan said, you always want to shoot for better. And anyway, that's what I wanted to point out by showing you guys this. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in like I said too, the whole like get better, practice, practice, practice.
Hmm.
That's what I'm doing right now. It's like I need to get better. It's like I need to get better and beat a whole bunch of guys that's like better than me.
Yeah, that's part of building your confidence in a good way, not
It's
in a
like
bashing way.
I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to. I mean, yeah, it's stubborn as hell, but it's like, dude, I don't have the time. It's like I
Right.
have family, I have kids. I can't be
That's
doing.
true.
I can't be going back to
That's
school. Just
right.
I should, but hell no.
And I also wanted to ask you, like, what kind of freelance work have you done before you got a job? Have you done that? Freelancing?
I have, but very very small.
Okay. Tell us about your experience. Yeah.
So back then when Craigslist was a big thing, remember Craigslist?
Right.
I put out, hey, I'm an illustrator, reach out to me if you need something. So some people did, and the thing is, I was charging a little too low,
Okay.
and sometime it took too long, and
Hmm.
I didn't really like. Man, I should have charged more because they're wasting a lot. Not wasting my time, but like they're using a lot of my time.
Right. It wasn't worth your time in the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So let me show you guys some here. Butterfly, dead fish, ink, Kevlar, landscape, my drawing there, pepper, painting. It's weird, I can't find any. That's weird. What the hell did it go? Okay. I think it's on my website.
Yeah. No worries.
No worries about a thing. Illustration, there we go. So see these here?
Uh-huh.
So you know what vector, right? You know what vector is?
Mhm.
Vector art.
Yeah. Vectorizing
So,
art or yeah.
Yeah, so they asked me to do this as a vector, and I'm like, that's hard.
Uh-huh.
I did it. So they were able to print it very, very big. And
Right.
they had the body, and they had the artist could not do face. So they gave it to me to do the face. That was like when I was still in college. But they were like, hey, you're pretty good at figure, do her face. I mean, it's so tiny you can't even see it. But yeah, it turned out good. And then
Right.
some guy on Craigslist reached out to me. He's like, "Hey man, I have this mascot, the monkey."
Uh-huh.
And at first he was like, "Hey, can you put the monkey as a baby and put the
The hangout guy.
the hangout guy on the back
The
as
hangover. Yeah.
as an ink?" I was like, "Yeah, I could do that." So I
Nice.
illustrated the monkey as a baby. And
That's
he's like,
amazing.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, that's cool, man. Thank you." And then he's like, "All right, can you do the doughboys with different Nike shoes?" I'm like,
Mm.
"I can try." And then, dude, the Nike shoes is hard as hell, dude. Oh my god,
Oh wow.
it was so freaking hard.
So, how was the amount of time that you spent on it versus the amount that you charge, for it, because you mentioned it wasn't worth the time, and then when you first did freelancing work, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about, yeah.
So it was at first it was a one flat fee was like $40.
$40 for that? Wow.
Yeah, and the thing is, it took so much because the thing is, I never drew Doughboy, so I had to research, learn how to draw him before I went and drew him. And then, tell the truth, I wasn't good at coloring at the time. So as you can see, like the colors goes to from white to gray. Today I would not do that. It would go to like a blue or something.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
like, I didn't know anything about colors. I mean, even though the scarf came out okay, the shoes wasn't.
Right.
So yeah, I spent way too much time. 40. I think this one was 40. Which this one was pretty quick, but this one was the time killer. And I was like, shoot, I should have told them $40 per character, and that was my fault. I didn't specify that, so he took advantage of it. I was like, damn it.
That's true.
But then this one was pretty cool. He was like, hey, can you use my monkey? Put it on the whatever his name is. And I was like, sure. And it was kind of very challenging actually. This was one of my first
freelance hour. Wow, yeah.
So I did these. Those are my stuff here.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I didn't do much really, because it took a lot of time, and after a while I was like, let me just go up $60, $100, and a lot of mom and pop shop was reaching out to me, and they didn't want to pay that much. They were looking for like $40, $20.
Right.
Yeah, so then I after a while I could get it. People are way too cheap. I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
This lady was trying to lowball me. She was like, "Oh yeah, I accept it. Oh cool." And then she asked me for some hard stuff, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna charge you like $20 an hour." She's like, "Stan, this thing, I charged my customer $60 to put this design on their shirt, and I'm gonna pay you $20 an hour. Do you understand? I'm losing money." I'm like, how the hell is that my problem? It's like, you're asking me it's well, the concept, the fact that the whole thing is that mom and pop shop, they're trying to make money, but they're charging low too, and so don't go after them because they're not gonna pay you nothing.
Right, and it's hard, like I'm glad you mentioned that, like as a freelancer, because a lot of artists, like you said, it's hard to get a job, so they're freelancing, right? And it's so hard to just price yourself, price your product, your skills, and yourself, So yeah, and people like artists, they get into that all the time. Like people trying to ask them to lower the price. They don't know how much work artists put into it, how much time it takes, and that right there, that's crazy. Like it's so hard for artists.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, no one, like, if you don't deal with agencies or big industry people, they understand more of your stuff, so they'll pay you more. Mom and pop shops, everyone thinks, oh, but you just do this for fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I pay you $20? I'm like, what?
Right. It's all about that, that profit for them. They're trying to make as much profit as they can. So yeah.
Exactly. So there's this quote. Okay, just make him sleep with you for a bit. What was I saying? I forgot.
Talking about profit.
Oh yeah. So I heard this one quote was like, "Hey man, I went to school for 4 years for me to draw you this illustration in 2 seconds."
Right. Yes.
I was like, hey, that does make sense. I mean, even though it's like, yeah, you got pretty good, you should be charging per hour. So that's like $20, right? It's like, no, because I save you tons of time, you should be paying me more. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Because I sharpen my skills so good that you want to use me, and
That's true. Yeah. Know what you're worth, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. Be honest with yourself and know what you're worth to price yourself. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow. That was some great advice right here for freelancing. And so I'm almost done with all my questions. So we're just gonna go through them, here. And let's see. So I wanted to know, like, currently, who's your favorite artist? Someone that who's the person that you take a lot of, you know, that you take from the most, currently,
Um, the truth is, I'm gonna tell you something
Uh
so dumb. You'd be like, what?
huh.
I follow everyone that's on our station.
On our station.
Yeah, back then, back in college, I used to follow Jim Lee, Stanley Law, those guys. But
Right.
ever since I got out, and I know there's so many styles and there's so many
Mhm.
things I want to achieve,
Mhm.
I don't follow just one artist anymore. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Okay, that's great. So you basically you like to take from any artist you see around, anything that catches your eyes,
Exactly.
basically.
Something that catches my eye because a lot of people has knowledge, and so I want to learn from multiple people. So I it's not that I chose to do that. It's just that I'm like, oh shoot, this guy's pretty good too. Oh, this guy's good. Oh shoot, this guy's
Right.
good. And it just started fading away that those guys I used to follow those guys, but not anymore.
Mhm.
And it's not a bad thing. They're just there's
No, I mean it's part of the learning and bettering yourself. Right?
exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Wow, amazing. And yes, I think we went over everything basically. Some question I didn't even have to ask because we kind of went over it.
Yeah.
And that's great. And but before we end the interview,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, tell our viewers, where they can find your art. What is your social media, where they can contact you for freelance work, or where can they find you?
Freelance work. Okay, so this is where it's gonna be. Let me just write it straight on my Photoshop.
Right.
Uh, Stan1.com.
Mhm.
Stan.moa. Yeah, oops. Yahoo.com. How do you do the Instagram stuff? Is it at
Yep. For Instagram and Twitter, just and whatever
is
your
it at
your
or is
name.
it like pound?
No, just at.
Stan is awesome. Do I have 86 on my
Yeah, you do. For Instagram, Stan is awesome 86.
and my Twitch?
Twitch, yes. Twitch is also the same, I believe, right?
Yeah, Stan is awesome. So don't mind the name. It's cocky as hell, but it's something I did when I was
No, it's great. It's different.
Yeah.
So there it is, guys. This is where you can find Stan, his work, or contact him if you guys are interested. And let's see. Is there anything you want to say before we conclude this? Anything you want to tell our viewers?
Yeah, sorry I couldn't finish it, man.
Yeah.
It's
That's what I
okay.
should have told you earlier, but we got so into the topics, that I forgot to ask you. I wanted to ask you earlier but it's okay. It's great. At least we got that tracer picture that people can see.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that is what Stan can do. Final product.
Yeah, just
So
don't
yeah.
don't mind this because the beginning stage, like I said, I freaking hate it. It's so much time
But
consuming.
right, and it's very time consuming, but that's how you better yourself. And then
Exactly.
over time you get faster. So yeah. So anyway, I just want to thank you, Stan, for doing this tonight. Taking some time of your night because it's pretty late over there where you are,
Yeah, it's
and and you have your family. So I just want to say thank you, for your time,
Mhm.
and I hope that we'll do this again maybe sometime.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you for considering me to interview. I'm
Absolutely.
not a great artist. I'm a nobody, but
That's not true. Stan is awesome, guys, like his name says.
yeah, something I made up in high school.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This was our second. This was my second interview, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another interview with Angela Wu, and also Dua, her, two great artists that I follow as well, and So yeah, I cannot wait to do that. So we'll see you on our next interview, and you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching, guys.
All right, man.
It's super simple, okay?